Most shooters don't choose a pistol. They inherit one. Inherited from the same review channels, the same dealer recommendations, the same brand names that dominate every conversation. Not because they won a performance comparison, but because they won the marketing war. 7 pistols never made it into that conversation. Field proven. Mechanically sound. Built to a standard most mainstream options haven't matched. You've been looking past them your entire shooting career. 7 pistols, systematically overlooked. Here's what blind familiarity cost you. This video is for educational purposes only and does not promote harm or unsafe use of firearms. Number 7. Ruger Security 9. Most people scroll right past the Ruger Security 9 without a second thought, and that's exactly the mistake. Because this pistol was never built to impress at first glance. It was built to quietly prove itself over time. Ruger didn't chase trends here. They focused on simplicity, durability, and making a handgun that just works when you need it most. Inspired by Ruger's internal hammer-fired system, the Security 9 delivers a trigger feel that's smoother and more consistent than many expect in this category, giving you a controlled, predictable break every time you press it. In the hand, it feels lightweight but not fragile, balanced in a way that makes it easy to carry yet stable enough to shoot with confidence. On the range, it doesn't try to be flashy. It stays composed, cycles cleanly, and keeps you on target without fighting you. The recoil impulse is manageable, making it approachable for newer shooters while still dependable for experienced hands. But here's where people overlook its real strength. It's built for the long run. This isn't a pistol you baby. It's one you use, train with, and trust over time. And while others chase higher-end names, the Security 9 sits quietly in the background, delivering consistent performance without demanding attention. Ignore it if you want, but that doesn't make it any less capable when it actually counts. Number 6. Sig Sauer P320 Compact. The Sig Sauer P320 Compact is one of those pistols people think they understand, until they actually spend time behind the trigger, and then everything changes. This isn't just another striker-fired handgun. It's a modular system that redefined how modern pistols are built, trusted by military forces and serious shooters around the world. But here's the catch. Because it became so popular, a lot of people started overlooking it, assuming it's just another option in a crowded market. That's a mistake. The moment you grip it, the ergonomics feel intentional, natural, like the gun is aligning itself with your instincts. The trigger has that signature Sig feel, smooth take-up, clean break, and a reset that keeps you in control without hesitation. On the range, it's calm under pressure, with a recoil impulse that stays predictable and easy to manage, letting you stay locked on target shot after shot. But what really sets it apart is adaptability. The ability to swap frames, slides, and configurations turns this into more than just a pistol. It becomes a platform you can shape around your needs. And yet, despite all of that, some shooters keep chasing newer trends, forgetting what this gun already proved. The P320 Compact isn't outdated. It's established, refined, and still one of the most capable handguns, sitting right in front of people who don't even realize what they're ignoring. Number 5. Taurus G3 Tactical. The Taurus G3 Tactical is the kind of pistol people dismiss before it ever gets a fair shot. And that's exactly why it deserves attention. Because behind the name is a handgun that's evolved far beyond what most expect. Taurus took everything they learned from earlier generations and pushed it into something more refined, more capable, and far more serious. The moment you handle it, the frame feels solid, purposeful, with an extended capacity that immediately tells you this isn't built for casual range trips, it's built for real use. The grip texture gives you control without feeling overly harsh, and the balance keeps it steady when you start pushing speed. Then comes the trigger, and this is where perceptions start to shift. It's smoother, cleaner, and more predictable than many people assume, making consistent shooting feel natural instead of forced. Out on the range, the G3 Tactical stays composed, handling recoil in a way that keeps you engaged and in control, while the optics-ready slide and threaded barrel quietly signal that this pistol is ready for more than just basic setups. And yet, despite all these features, It often gets overlooked because of old reputations that no longer reflect reality. The truth is, this isn't the Taurus people remember. This is a modern, capable, and surprisingly versatile handgun that many shooters are ignoring without realizing what they're actually passing up. Number 4. Kel-Tech P15 9mm. The Kel-Tech P15 9mm is one of those pistols that gets dismissed in seconds, too small, too different, too unconventional. But that snap judgment is exactly why so many people are overlooking what it actually brings to the table. Kel-Tech has always played by its own rules, and the P15 is a perfect example of that mindset. Ultra-lightweight, incredibly slim, yet somehow packing a capacity that doesn't match its size. The moment you pick it up, it almost feels unreal, like there's no way something this light should be this capable. But once you start running it, the design begins to make sense. The grip is narrow but functional, the controls are minimalist, and everything about it is built around efficiency and carry comfort. The trigger isn't trying to be competition grade, it's consistent, workable, and built for real-world use, where reliability matters more than perfection. On the range, the recoil has a bit more snap due to its weight, but it remains controllable, especially for a pistol designed to disappear on your body when carried. And that's the real story here. This isn't a range toy. It's a purpose-built concealed carry machine. Yet many shooters ignore it because it doesn't look or feel like traditional options. The truth is, the Kel-Tech P15 isn't trying to compete with the usual. It's solving a different problem entirely, and doing it in a way most people don't fully appreciate until it's too late. Number 3. HKV P9. The HKV P9 is one of those pistols that quietly earns respect the moment you shoot it. But strangely, it still gets overlooked by people chasing trends instead of performance. Built by Heckler & Koch, a name tied to precision engineering and military-grade durability, the VP9 carries a legacy of craftsmanship that's hard to ignore, yet many still do. Maybe it's because it doesn't scream for attention, or maybe it's because it simply does its job so well that it doesn't need to. The first thing that stands out is the ergonomics, arguably some of the best in the industry. The grip feels sculpted, almost custom, with interchangeable panels that let you dial it in exactly how you want. Then, you get to the trigger, and this is where it separates itself. A crisp, clean break with a short, tactile reset that gives you control and confidence shot after shot. On the range, the VP9 feels smooth, balanced, and incredibly easy to shoot well, with recoil that stays controlled and predictable even when you push speed. It's the kind of pistol that makes you look better than you actually are. And yet, despite all of that, it often gets overshadowed by louder names or newer releases. The reality is, the HKV P9 isn't flashy. It's refined, proven, and built for shooters who care about how a gun actually performs, not just how it's marketed. Number 2. FN509 Compact Tactical. The FN509 Compact Tactical is not a pistol that enters quietly. It feels like it was designed for situations where hesitation is not an option. Built by FN Herstal, a company with deep military roots and global defense contracts, this handgun carries a level of seriousness that you can feel the moment you pick it up. It doesn't try to be soft or overly refined. It's aggressive, purposeful, and engineered for real-world tactical use. The frame feels compact but dense, giving you that sense of mechanical confidence, while the grip texture locks into your hand even under stress or fast shooting. What really sets it apart is how complete it feels out of the box. Threaded barrel, optic-ready slide, suppressor height sights. This isn't a basic version of anything, it's already configured for serious setups. The trigger has a firm, deliberate break that rewards control rather than speed alone. And once you get into rhythm, the pistol tracks with authority, staying stable even during rapid strings of fire. Recoil is present but managed well, thanks to smart engineering and balance that keeps the muzzle predictable. But here's the interesting part. Despite all this capability, many shooters still overlook it because it doesn't chase mainstream hype. The FN509 Compact Tactical isn't trying to be popular. It's trying to be mission-ready. And in that role, it absolutely delivers without compromise. Number 1. CZP-10C. The CZ P10C is one of those pistols that quietly walked into a crowded market and started changing expectations without asking for permission. CZ has a long-standing reputation for building some of the most mechanically sound handguns in the world, and the P10C carries that DNA into the striker-fired era with a level of refinement that catches people off guard. At first glance, it looks simple, almost understated. But the moment you grip it, the difference becomes obvious. The ergonomics are sharply designed, with a grip angle that naturally aligns your sights and a texture pattern that bites just enough to keep you locked in without discomfort. Inside, the trigger is where this pistol starts to separate itself. Clean take-up, a crisp break, and a reset that feels short and deliberate, giving you real control over rapid follow-up shots. On the range, the P10C feels planted and confident, with recoil that stays straight back instead of flipping unpredictably, making it easy to stay on target even under faster strings of fire. It's the kind of gun that doesn't demand attention. It earns trust through repetition. And yet, despite its performance, it still gets overlooked by shooters chasing louder brands or newer marketing. The CZ P10C isn't trying to impress you with noise. It's quietly proving that engineering still matters more than hype every single time you pull the trigger. Outro. So after all 7 pistols, one pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Most shooters aren't actually looking at performance. They're looking at reputation. And that's exactly how guns like these get overlooked. Each one on this list brings something real to the table: control, reliability, and purpose-driven design. Now the question is simple. Are you choosing what's popular or what actually works when it matters? Drop your answer below and subscribe for more real-world breakdowns like this.